watch and watch carefully, as this is what you need to do when you analyze data. First, you give data to Minitab. You have to tell Minitab what column a factor and what column would be your Y response. So, introducing a new function called DOE, design of experiment, you go to stat, and we go to DOE, design of experiment. Alright? Now, when data are already given, you are to do factorial design. Choose the second choice, factorial design. Now, if you want to create a design from nothing, we go create. And this is where you choose, right? You go to level, factorial design. I got two factors. Okay? I go design. I would like for replication. Okay? And then I go option. If you want the software to randomize the order of the run, you leave this check. If not, if you uncheck it, it's gonna be a standard order, which look like this. Here's the standard order. Oh. You know? Replication is N. This is standard order. So it goes minus, minus, plus, minus, minus, plus, 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 and repeat it 4 times. Okay? But if you do it in the way that you go option, randomize run, go OK, you're gonna see a version where computer randomize the order of the run. It's gonna look totally random, but still 16 runs. Alright? Now, remember, this is before you run the experiment. You ask Minitab to create the design for you. So, this is where you go. I'm gonna set up my experiment. A high, B low, run the experiment, measure the response, and input your data, 100. Then you go back and set up your experiment A low, B high, run and measure, and you may get something like A 2. So here's how you create a column that record the response. Alright? Now, in our example, we already have A column and B column and Y column. So we need to tell Minitab what are Y, what are the factors. And so you go stat DOE factorial. Now instead of create, we go define. The second choice, define custom factorial design. Now you choose A would be factor, B would be factor. Once you choose, the default is 2 level. This is 2 level, so you leave as default. Click on the button that says low and high, and Minitab now guess. -1 should be low, +1 should be high. And that's a correct guess, so we don't need to guess anything. Sometimes your data gonna come A, instead of the letter A, it go temperature, and then a low value and high value. Minitab would guess. Alright, but sometimes B would be type of material. Like -1 is a polymer, +1 is another type of polymer, and so Minitab now guess something, you have to correct it if Minitab guess wrong. Okay, in this case, Minitab guess it correctly, so we go OK. And once you click OK one more time, you're gonna see this 4 column create. Alright, standard orders, run order, block, center point. Now, in this first example that I show you, we create this design and Minitab create 4 columns. So for Minitab to be able to analyze your data, it has to know all of these runs are performed in the same block. All of these are points on the corner of the cube. Okay? Look at this. This is, if it's 2 factor, 2 level, it's a corner of a square. Okay? If it's a cubic, it's a corner of a cube. Now, to tell Minitab, all of these are at the corner. The center point must be all 1. Alright, later we're going to run something in the middle. randomize the order of the run, these two columns will not be the same. But if we randomize the order of the run, we don't randomize these two columns will be the same. And now, in our original data, once we have column for A, column for B, column for Y, you tell me that here's factor A, this is factor B, then you tell me that -1 is low, +1 is high. Me that now go, okay, this is the order at which experiment will run. And all of these are run in one block. And all of these are points on the corner of a cube. Okay? Now, time to analyze, you go start design of experiment, factorial, and analyze factorial design. And now you shoot your response thickness and go and get your result. And now we look at the result and it looks just like before. Starting with analysis of variance, which one do we look at first? A, B interaction. Which one? We look at the A, B interaction. Do they interact? Ooh, large p-value. Do we have an interaction term being significant? Nope. Okay. So now it's time to look at A alone and B alone. A is significant.
Yes.
B is not significant. Okay. So what do we do next? We would create a plot now. We go start DOE factorial, and we create what we call a factorial plot. Okay. Click on graph. Do we need to look at main effect and interaction? Yes or no? We don't need to look at the which one? Which one should be unchecked? Interaction term because it is not significant. And so between A and B, we already know A is significant and B is not significant. So the only graph you should be interpreting would be alright. This graph you should interpret. This graph, no need to interpret this graph because we have a large p-value. So now you go changing A from low level to high level. Increase the response by around 0.9 give or take. Okay? From 13.9 something to around 14.8 something. 0.9. So that's how you interpret the result. Clear or not clear? Just like factorial design, this is 2 levels for each factor. Okay? Does anybody have questions? So, what happened now? A, you change A from low to high, thickness increase. You change B, thickness remains the same. Alright? So now if you want thick wafer, you want to increase or set factor A to a high level. So this is how people come up with a good setting for your process. Alright? Clear or unclear? Imagine you go to a process, you don't know how to set A and B. What do? You run experiment. You repeat your experiment, you analyze data, at the end you go, B could be anything, A must be high. That's the finding, the conclusion. Okay? Does anybody have questions? So two factors, A and B. A has low level and high level, two level. Right? Minus, plus. Okay.
ปกติก็มีแค่ two level อยู่ครับมีแค่ low มา
So before we can have each factor have more than 2 levels, like 3, 4, 5 levels. Okay, so here's what computer did, and they check assumption of course as one outlier. an outlier, maybe have to be looked at if somebody input the data wrong. So let me show you how to create this graph. We go back to Minitab, and Minitab is gone.